the vast deserts of Arrakis, power does not come from armies, nor gold, nor titles, nor even oil. No, it comes from this. A single grain, a vibrant, violet, crystalline ochre gold, laced with a scent of cinnamon and revelation. This is the Spice Melange, the most valuable substance in the universe. Today, we unravel its origins, its many uses, and the horrific price it exacts. I am Lupercal8796, your humble Mentat Swordmaster, but a shadow of my Duke. And today's Dune Universe Primer is the Spice Melange, origin, uses, and the true cost of power. Number 1. The origin of the spice. The Spice Melange is not mined. It is not synthesized. It is born. And it is born only to one world, Arrakis. The desert planet known by the Fremen as Dune. A brutal, inhospitable wasteland where the sun kills unprotected flesh in minutes, but deep beneath the sand, life thrives, monstrous, ancient, and sacred. Shai Halud. Spice is the byproduct of a complex biological cycle centered around the great sandworms of Arrakis. The process begins with the sandtrout leathery proto-organisms that absorb water with obsessive hunger. When enough water is accumulated by these sandtrout, they form a pre-spice mass deep underground. After a process of complicated fermentation with a few different fungal species, the mass builds pressure until it explodes to the surface in what is known as a spice blow. The resulting cloud of gas and particulates settle, crystallize, and become melange. But if water were to touch this mass before it explodes, it is destroyed, and so too go the worms. Number 2. The effects of Spice Melange. Melange is addictive, terminally so. Even in small doses, it extends life, enhances vitality, and sharpens the mind. To some, it grants prescience, to others, madness. For the Spacing Guild, spice is the only means of safe interstellar travel. By ingesting massive quantities of spice gas, navigators undergo a terrifying metamorphosis, mutating into inhuman entities who can fold space with their minds, navigating the stars through glimpses of the future. They do not pilot in the traditional sense. They become the vessel itself, binding their warped procession to the currents of time and possibility. In so doing, they shed their humanity almost entirely, existing in tanks of gaseous spice, unable to survive without it. They are able to bend time and space and create what is effectively an Einstein-Rosen bridge between 2 points in space. For the Bene Gesserit, spice is the key to the other memory, the genetic soul of the female line. Through controlled ingestion, a Reverend Mother unlocks the mental archive of all her female ancestors, spanning countless generations. This memory, layered, silent, watchful, is a double-edged gift, a source of immense insight, and an unbearable psychological burden. For the Tleilaxu, melange is not merely a drug, it is a tool. They utilize spice in bioengineering, using it to extend cellular viability in golas and accelerate the gestation of their genetic abominations. Spice also enriches their axolotl breeding tanks, and rumors persist that their own masters, always hidden, partake of spice in such dense concentrations they develop hive-like memory across clone bodies. Mentats, the human computers of the Imperium, do not require spice, but some, especially those trained in the schools of Ix and the Souk, use microdoses to enhance memory retention through the juice of Safu. It also increases neural speed and synaptic clarity. For these enhanced thinkers, spice is akin to cerebral lightning, brief, illuminating, and dangerous when overused. For the Kwisatz Haderach, the spice opens every door, past, present, future, all visible, all crushing. Only he can walk the Seker Nabwai, the golden path, without going mad. Only he can see where the futures converge, and yet even he is bound to the spice, and even he pays the ultimate price. Number 3. Political dominance. He who controls the spice controls the universe. This is no mere exaggeration. The economy, the nobility, the military, the guild, all of it runs on melange. For centuries, natural melange harvested from Arrakis remained the single point of leverage in all galactic politics. The planet itself became a fulcrum of the Empire, a desert jewel coveted, feared, and fought over. Control of Arrakis was not just territorial, it was existential. Houses have risen and fallen by the flow of spice. Treachery is common. Betrayal is expected. In a bold bid to serve House Carino's reliance on Arrakis, Emperor Shaddam IV commissioned the development of a synthetic alternative, codenamed Project Amal. It worked. Amal was produced, but its properties were unstable. It required intensive production infrastructure, and its effects were short-lived. And for many factions, especially the Bene Gesserit and the Spacing Guild, Amal was considered dangerously inferior. When tested by the Bene Gesserit, Amal disrupted the delicate balance of other memory. The Guild found that the prescient navigation with Amal was unreliable and often fatal. In the end, Amal was not a savior, it was a scandal. The secrecy surrounding its development, its rejection by the Guild, and the exposure of Shaddam's desperation ultimately undermined House Carino's standing. It was not spice that ended Shaddam's reign, but his attempt to replace it. Number 4. The Fremen and the Spice. To the outside world, spice is power. To the Fremen, it is life itself. They are born into spice, breathe it from the first moments in their blue eyes. The eyes of Abad mark them as children of Arrakis. They use it in food, in ritual, in prophecy. Only a reverend mother can survive the agony of a water of life, a poison made from the drowning of a juvenile sandworm, and only among the Fremen have some women dared to survive it unaided. Spice is woven into every part of Fremen culture. It enhances combat reflexes during raids. It preserves the dead. It is inhaled during orgiastic rites of memory sharing, where tribal history becomes a living, breathing presence. The spice is their teacher, their ancestor, and their god. Even their dreams are shaped by it. Spice empowers them, but it also dooms them. They are bound to Arrakis by more than sand and sieges. They are people addicted, spiritually, biologically, historically, to the very lifeblood of their world. Number 5. Withdrawal and dependence. Once spice enters the body, there is no return. Withdrawal is always fatal. Organs fail, nerves collapse, minds disintegrate. The Guild, the Sisterhood, the Landsrat, they're all addicted to it, but not equally. For the Navigators, a lack of spice means not just death, but the end of space travel. For a Reverend Mother, the loss severs her from thousands of ancestral voices, leaving her mind fractured and derelict. For those in power, its absence means political suicide. For the common folk who have tasted it, the end is quiet and cruel. There are no spice rehabilitation clinics, no weaning protocols. Once addicted, one is internally enslaved to a substance, to a planet, and to the inevitable. The Imperium is built on a foundation of cinnamon-scented death. Without spice, civilization ends. Without civilization, spice would continue to flow. Number Number 6. Artificial spice. But what if spice could be made and not harvested? Following the failure and political fallout of Project Amal, the pursuit of artificial melange continued, not in the open halls of power, but in the vaults of secrecy. The Tleilaxu, ever ambitious and secretive, began producing synthetic spice strains. Their creations, nicknamed Neria, Shy's Tears, and Red Bloom, were unstable and erratic in potency, and often caused mutations in both body and mind. The Ixian pioneers of forbidden technology tried their hand as well. Their methods blended computation with chemistry, attempting to algorithmically map the psychoreactive properties of spice. While they achieved temporary cognitive enhancements, the prescient effect remained elusive, diluted, and ultimately unreliable. During the reign of Leto II, God, Emperor, and Tyrant, artificial spice was produced under a state monopoly. Its creation was permitted only within the strict bounds as a tool of control, not liberation. The God Emperor rationed it to loyal factions, never trusting any synthetic variant to fully replace the divine ecology of the Shai Halud. In every attempt, the lesson remained the same. Melange is not merely chemical, it is theology, ecology, and destiny. To replicate it is to mimic a god, and the universe does not tolerate pretenders. Number 7. Beyond the geriatric Spice Melange. And yet, it is only the beginning. There are those who see not just into the future, but into every possible future. And they know spice is not the end of the story. It is the first page of a far more terrible gospel. The saga of Dune is far from over. A grain of spice, a billion lives, a trillion deaths. One planet, one path, one price. The spice must flow. This has been your humble Mentat Swordmaster Lupercal 8796, but a shadow of my Duke. If you liked this video and like the content that I make, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to the video, like the video, and share it with others. Also, if you do not follow me on Twitch, feel free to go follow me, because starting on the 5th through the 9th, I will be giving away Dune props, from a thumper bookmark all the way to an actual life-sized thumper. On the grand prize for each of those days will be a copy of the game Dune Awakening. Also, on the 10th, I will be giving away one Ultimate Edition along with a custom-painted pain box from the Bene Gesserit, as well as a 24-karat silver gilded Gom Jabbar. Until next time, may Shai Halud bless your passage.